Hi, welcome back to Review Crew. I'm Brianna.
I'm Dylan, and today we're reviewing The Many Saints in Newark, a Soprano story. Here's the trailer.
When I was a kid, guys like me were brought up to follow codes.
Hey, jerk off. What'd you say? What?
Antonio Soprano.
I wonder if I can talk to you alone for a moment, Mrs. Soprano. On the basis of the Sanford Binet, he's high IQ.
You can't prove it by me. He's got a D+ average.
Well, he doesn't apply himself, but he is smart. The results tell us he's a leader.
Ankle Dick.
Growing up with the family takes a toll.
Maybe an ambassador to England or France.
You're my nephew.
Might like to gamble.
I want to do whatever I can to help you.
You may be a businessman.
My gift to you.
Degree thief.
I want to go to college. I can't get caught with shit like this.
Look, you take the speakers, right? At the same time, you say to yourself, this is the last time I'm ever going to steal something. It's that simple.
Let me go talk to him.
He only listens to Dickie.
Gotta do something about Dickie Malasani.
Maybe some of the things you do aren't God's favorite.
You lead by example. We'll make the right decision. This kid's got what it takes.
As far as your nephew goes,
I'm listening.
stay out of his life.
So Dylan, you've watched The Sopranos before, correct?
I have, yes.
So what were your expectations going into the movie, and what were your thoughts after watching it?
Well, being a diehard fan such as myself, I had very high expectations. I've been following this movie since day one of its announcement, so I've just, I've been carefully, waiting for it. I was thoroughly disappointed after watching the movie. Not to say there aren't great things going on. I love some things about the movie, but there's a lot of negatives in my opinion. I didn't really like some of the execution.
Okay. So I've never watched.
Yeah, I know we were talking before.
We were talking about
we
that.
are completely different here. We have two different opinions here because you have never seen one episode.
No.
And I have seen the show maybe 3 times. So.
Yeah, I actually, when I heard I was going to be reviewing this, I was asking people, have you seen Sopranos? And I heard great things about Sopranos. So I was like kind of looking forward to watching it.
That's the thing about doing this kind of movie is The Sopranos is held at such a high caliber that to follow anything, it's a challenge. Even if this is made by the same people who made The Sopranos, but even so, it's just 15 years after, it's going to be a challenge to make anything that's...
Yeah, and I think not watching it, The Sopranos, was kind of hard for me because they had a lot of memories and stuff built into the movie, correct? I was kind of confused a little when I got into it.
Well, I noticed upon first watching the movie that they kind of confidently introduce characters and just go into it, like you've seen the show. So for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's going to be a little hard to, you're like, who is this person? That, it's hard when they introduce someone without even like telling you their names. It happens plenty of times in the movie. So, I wanted to ask you, like, did you like it? Like, what do you think? Because you didn't have as much expectations that I did.
So it took a little bit to get into the movie, and to try to understand what was actually going on.
Mm-hmm.
But right after I watched the movie, I think it had a good effect on me. The ending really threw me for a spin right there.
Yeah.
And I think it was your classic mobster movie. There was a lot of action-packed filled scenes.
Yeah, I think like for those sequences they did a great job. All the action is there. It's just, I mean, I was talking to you before about how they marketed this movie. They said it's it's Tony Soprano's movie. Like this is the inception of Tony, but
it wasn't.
don't expect that when you're going to see this movie. Really, like they did that to fill the seats. It's Dickie's story, Dickie Moltisanti.
It is Dickie's story.
I mean, Tony's there. He has, he affects the story, but
it was mainly Dickie.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Many Saints is, that means Moltisanti, so you got to know going into it that.
Which is interesting because Dickie wasn't in Sopranos, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, his presence is felt because Christopher Moltisanti, actually his son, he narrates the movie, which is an interesting choice, actually. That was something I liked about the movie. He narrates it. His father's presence is felt. You always know that something happened to him in the past with Tony. So that's why I was so excited to see this movie, find out some of the secrets and, what actually occurred in the past.
Right, and I think the actor who portrayed Dickie, I think he did an excellent job.
Oh yeah, no, there's some top-notch performances in this movie.
There really is.
Everyone, for the most part, everyone did a good job. There were a couple exceptions in my opinion.
Would you like to elaborate on that? Who do you think?
One in particular, I think his name's John Margaro, if I'm not Margaro. He plays Silvio Dante in the film. It kind of just felt like a parody, in my opinion. If you see the movie, I don't know, even without seeing The Sopranos, it kind of feels like he's doing an impersonation of something, like the way he walks,
right,
all his mannerisms,
authentic.
it doesn't feel authentic at all. So every time he's on screen, I was taken out, and I just didn't feel like I was even watching a movie,
Yeah. So what was your favorite scene?
There's a lot of good sequences in the movie. Let me think. To be honest, the ending is very effective. When the credits rolled, I was smiling. Like when I heard the theme song for the show, I was still, jittery and like, oh wow, like I like it was an effective close for the movie, but how it gets there and the execution again is just it's a little. It kind of feels like it doesn't, can't find itself quietly. Good. The beginning, it kind of bounces back between a historical story about the Newark riots, something that happened in the '60s. And just Dickie's story, but it feels like they can't find the focus. Did you feel that when you were watching?
Yeah, I think it touches on a lot of important, relevant topics.
Yeah.
Like police brutality was definitely a topic.
It feels like it brushes by on though.
But it brushed by on it. It didn't really develop it, and it was like it was trying to do too much, and it just didn't.
Yeah, it would be something about race, and then something about the mob, and then something about the riots, and it was jambling a lot in the first 30 minutes, and I was confused a little bit. And then you have the stuff with Tony, and it's just overwhelming at that point. To be honest, though, I know you haven't seen the show, but they do recreate a lot of there are a couple flashbacks in the show, and they recreate them to pretty great effect. Honestly, they are done very well, particularly a carnival scene that's earlier on in the film.
See, I was a little confused by that.
Yeah, because a lot of the scenes they do require you to have some kind of prior knowledge for it to have a full effect on you. Like if you've seen the show, you just. You smile more because there's a lot of callbacks to the show and a lot of recurring characters, which I found kind of neat. But again, some of them felt a little non-authentic, which was unfortunate.
All right. I think we talked about a lot of good things here. We'll be back after this break.
Same address, new website. orangetvnetwork.syr.edu. OTN launched a new website that gives you all the information you need about your student TV station. Information about all of our shows and our programming partners. On the air 24/7, you can watch the OTN live stream on any device. orangetvnetwork.syr.edu. orangetvnetwork.syr.edu. And tune your ears into our podcasts. orangetvnetwork.syr.edu. Check out the daily program schedule by clicking the link under our shows. orangetvnetwork.syr.edu.
Welcome back to our discussions about the Many Saints of Newark. I wanted to get us going again on some of the characters in this movie. A lot of, a lot of casting choices. One in particular that had a lot of people talking going into this movie. Michael Gandolfini portrays young teenage Tony Soprano. I'm not sure who plays there's a 10-year-old version of him as well in the film, but the most talked about was definitely Michael going into the movie. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. I did look up, I've never seen The Sopranos, but I looked up a picture of the actor and I thought there was a great resemblance there. I think, how old was he? Do you know? He looked kind of young, but I think he played a great, he did a great job in this movie.
Probably early 20s to my knowledge, but I mean, just knowing the show, I think he did a really good job. And it's funny, he actually never saw I heard he never saw an episode going into portraying his dad, so he just did the homework, right before doing it and just kind of handled it like any actor would. So, I mean, a lot of respect for him taking on that role. It must be extremely hard to do that. And he just kind of killed it. He's not in it for that long, but he really did a great job. It feels like Tony Soprano, I'm not going to lie.
Right, I wish I saw more of him almost.
Again, a lot of the posters for the movie are saying who made Tony Soprano, so you expect to see a lot of Tony, but, I kind of knew it would always be Dickie's story at the end of the day. And like you were saying before, whoever, I can't remember his name, but whoever played Dickie Moltisanti really did do a good job. Good performance all around. He's a good leading man. Again, I can't remember his name for the life of me, but good job. A couple other notable performances that I happen to love. Corey Stoll as Junior Soprano, just perfect. I know you haven't seen the show once again, but he just completely nailed the mannerisms of Junior. Also, Vera Farmiga as Lydia Soprano, pretty excellent job. Felt like pretty authentic to that character.
I also think Dickie's father, I know he wasn't in it for that long, but
Ray Liotta, though, yeah. Once they brought Ray Liotta in, they utilize him a lot in the movie. He's I don't know if you've seen Goodfellas, but he's very well known in the mob movie genre.
Yeah, he did a great job. I loved, actually, one of my favorite scenes was the one with him and Dickie in the car, where Dickie ends up killing the father.
Yes.
I thought that was, and then there was kind of like this weird silence after he did that, which I thought made for like a weird, awkwardness, but also really intriguing.
It's a good comparison to his son, too, in the show. His son, Christopher, does a lot of heinous things similar to that, so it was just I thought it was a good comparison for the two of them. I know we were talking before that we both were pretty satisfied with the ending of the movie.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it because I didn't even know Dickie was gonna die, so I kind of was like thrown off a little bit, and it happened so suddenly. They don't really give you any foreshadowing in the film. Like, he's just standing there putting his stuff in his trunk, and then.
Yeah, it happens all sudden. During the course of The Sopranos, his presence is always felt. You know something happened to him, but you never entirely find out the circumstances of how he died. So it's cool to find out that stuff. But as the ending goes, I love the final shot. I genuinely loved it a lot. The choice to have Christopher narrate the movie too and finish it with is a very nice callback to a season 5 episode that I just, as a fan, it hit me, struck a chord.
Mm-hmm.
And the song playing was just, cherry on top.
Right. So your favorite part was the ending?
I loved a lot of sequences. There were definitely some strong parts. It's just when the ending hit, I was smiling more than any other scene,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan that the movie doesn't really affect anything about the show. As many people know, the ending of The Sopranos is extremely divisive, and one of my biggest worries going into the movie was that they were going to change the ending or alter it in some way. Thankfully, none of that is present. It doesn't really, other than finding out some insight about Dickie, it doesn't really go too far into how Tony's story ended. So I'm kind of happy that it didn't delve too much into sharing something that I don't think that we need to know.
Earlier you talked about the women's role is not really with not really being there in the movie, but they did
before the
clearly.
show, yeah. It did feel like there was a lack of female presence in the show. In the movie. In the show, Janice Soprano and Carmela, Tony's wife, are very prominent characters, and they're both in the movie, but they're just sidelined so greatly. So I was just confused on why the choice to do so. I don't know. I feel like woman in the mob is kind of like an interesting aspect. You know what I mean?
So how would you rate the movie on a scale of 1 to 10?
Right now, after giving it 2 watches, I'd probably say a solid 6 out of 10. There's definitely stuff to love, but being a big fan, I was just a little disappointed. I don't really know what it had to offer the show. It doesn't really add anything as a side piece that it's like it doesn't warrant its existence as much as it should.
Yeah, so I think I'd give the movie probably like a 6.5, just because I thought there was some really good aspects of it. It was visually entertaining, and I think if you're looking for something to do, I think watching Saints of New York is a good thing.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after this. That's all for this week. If you want to follow more Review Crew content, go to the Review Crew Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, as well as Orange TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and YouTube.
Find the Review Crew's podcast on Spotify or on our website at orangetvnetwork.syr.edu, where you could also find our blog and more OTN information.
Check out this week's screening hosted by University Union, Escape Room, Tournament of Champions.
Also, be sure to check out Friday Night Movie Night on OTN. This week's movies are The Little Princess, The General, and Indiscretion of an American Wife.
See you next week.